Hey guys, YouTubeWare100 here, and continuing King of the Ring month with another King of the Ring review. Here's my review of King of the Ring 1999. Boy, oh boy, was this show bad. Oh yeah, this was a horrible, horrible show right here. Yeah, I said before that all four main pay-per-views of the WWF that year all suck. Yeah, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, they all suck. Yeah, and so did this one. This one is right there with them. I mean, this show was absolutely horrible. 1999 was just a bad year for WWE pay-per-view wise, especially like their, I guess now, 5 main pay-per-views of the year, their 5 biggest pay-per-views of the year, all sucked. Yeah, this was just a terrible, terrible show right here. Yeah, and as far as just the King of the Ring tournament is concerned, I think this may be not really the worst, but the most disappointing King of the Ring pay-per-view of all time. I mean, considering who was in this tournament, you figure like they could have had like some decent to pretty good matches, but no. I mean, yeah, every single tournament match on this show was just, yeah, wasn't good. Let's just say that it wasn't good, and yeah, this may be the most disappointing King of the Ring tournament of all time. I mean, considering who was in this, you figure you could have had some good matches here, but yeah, this was just a very disappointing tournament. So yeah, let me just get right into this thing. Yeah, so here they brought back the 3 rounds in one night, where they had quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals on the show. Yeah, so yeah, here show kicked off with a King of the Ring quarterfinal match. Had X-Pac versus Hardcore Holly. Oh my gosh, this was a horrible opener, alright? I mean, this only lasted like 3 minutes, and yeah, nothing happened in those 3 minutes, just like a bunch of boring stuff here. I mean, 3 minutes, and it was a very, very boring match. I mean, they just did absolutely nothing interesting here, yeah. X-Pac got the Bronco Buster on Hardcore Holly at the end of the match, and yeah. And then Hardcore Holly just gets himself disqualified by hitting X-Pac with a steel chair. Yeah, so yeah. The first match of the night ends in disqualification. Yeah. 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 Like I said, Hardcore Holly hit X-Pac with a chair, and then afterwards Road Dogg came in and made the save for X-Pac. Yeah. This was a horrible, horrible opener. I give that half of a star. And then, in the next quarterfinal match, had Kane versus The Big Show. This sucked too. I mean, this was even worse. Alright, I mean, this was like 6.5 minutes, and this was such a boring match. I mean, seriously, there was like a bunch of stuff in this match looked absolutely fake. I mean, they didn't even try to make it seem real. Yeah, like a bunch of moves just looked like so lightly used, and you could so tell it wasn't real. Yeah, including at one point Kane and Big Show both, they gave each other a big boot, and you could clearly see like neither one hit. Yeah, I mean, it just like completely stopped. It was like this. It was like that. I mean, you could clearly see neither big boot connected, and yeah, both guys fell down. And then yeah, the referee accidentally got knocked out. Yeah, Hardcore Holly tried to come out, attack Big Show, but yeah, Kane stopped Hardcore Holly and gave him a choke slam. And then yeah, Kane had a chokehold on Big Show for what seemed like forever, and the referee was just out. I mean, it was just so boring. I mean, not even another referee didn't even come out at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Big Show was just like losing consciousness. Kane just continued to have his hand around Big Show's throat. Yeah, this was just so terrible. Terrible, yeah. And then yeah, Kane eventually Big Show eventually fought out of it, and then Kane grabbed the chair and gave Big Show a nailed Big Show with the chair, and then yeah. And then the referee recovered, and yeah, Kane got the pin on Big Show, and Kane won the match, yeah. Just a absolutely terrible match. Dud. Then, Billy Gunn versus Ken Shamrock in another quarterfinal match. Yeah, it was unknown whether or not Ken Shamrock was actually going to be able to compete, because yeah, earlier in the night on Heat, Ken Shamrock was like, got attacked by Steve Blackman. Yeah, he was hurt, and yeah, it was just unknown whether or not he was going to be competing. Yeah, he ended up competing after all in the match. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Billy Gunn was basically just targeting all of Ken Shamrock's hurt spots in the match, and yeah, this really was not a good match either. I mean, seriously, I mean, yeah, these two really just don't seem to have very good matches against each other. Yeah, I remember I talked about their match at Royal Rumble 1999. Yeah, it really was not that great. This turned out being even worse. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this was another 3-minute match here, yeah. And yeah, like I said, Billy Gunn was just like targeting Ken Shamrock's hurt spots in the match, yeah. And then and then eventually, like, the referee just called for the bell because, yeah, Ken Shamrock was just too hurt to continue. He was bleeding from his mouth, and yeah, the referee just called for the bell and awarded the match to Billy Gunn. So, now this was another bad match. 1 star. Then we had the Road Dogg versus Chyna in the last quarterfinal match. And we finally get a decent match here. A decent match, but still really wasn't exactly what I'd call good. Yeah, it was some okay back and forth between the two. Yeah, Chyna was able to hold her own against Road Dogg as she was with a lot of men. Yeah. Yeah, at one point as Chyna was like distracting the referee, Triple H attacked Road Dogg, because yeah, Triple H was out ringside with Chyna. Yeah, Triple H attacked Road Dogg while the referee was distracted. Yeah. And at one point Triple H like hit Road Dogg with a chain. Yeah. Yeah. And then Shawn Michaels then eventually came out. And then yeah, he just like prevented Triple H from getting involved in the match anymore. Then yeah, in the end, Road Dogg hits a finisher on Chyna and he gets the win. So yeah, it was, like I said, a decent, okay match. I give it about 2.25. Then next up had the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian, aka the Brood. Yeah, this was a rematch from a match that happened earlier in the night on Heat. Because yeah, the match on Heat between these teams ended in a no contest because of interference from the current tag team champions, APA or Acolytes, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. And yeah, this match was just to determine #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Yeah, I'm not really gonna say this was really that bad, because yeah, I mean, this was basically just used as like a buffer match between the quarterfinals and semifinals of the tournament. Yeah, this was just fine for what it was. Yeah, it was just back and forth between the two teams. Yeah, I had Michael Hayes in the Hardy Boys corner, and Gangrel, who was also with the Brood in Edge and Christian's corner. Yeah, yeah, like I said, this was just fine for what it was. Yeah, at one point, like, Michael Hayes got involved in the match to try to help the Hardy Boys, and then it looked like Hardy Boys had the match won right there, but Gangrel pulled the referee out. Or is that what happened? Yeah, Gangrel got involved in the match somehow. Yeah, I forgot if he pulled the referee out or not. Yeah. And yeah, Gangrel and Michael Hayes went at it. Outside the ring, yeah. And yeah, some back and forth between the two teams, yeah. It was a nice spot where at one point, like, Hardys were using their double team on Edge, and they did the thing where Jeff Hardy was jumping over Matt. And then yeah, Edge just like got a spear on Jeff Hardy during that. Yeah, that was a nice spot. But yeah, and then yeah, at the end Hardy Boys got the win. So yeah, It was just fine for what it was. I give it 2.5 stars. Then, the two semi-final matches. First up, Kane versus Billy Gunn. This was bad too. Yeah, this was a really bad match right here, yeah. There was some brawling on the outside of the ring, yeah. At one point, Kane tried to hit Billy Gunn with the steel steps. The Billy Gunn like drop kicked the steel steps right into Kane's face, and yeah, Kane just fell back and the steps fell into his face, yeah. And then at one point Big Show came out again and he kinda like inadvertently helped Kane. And yeah. And then yeah, in the end of this match Billy Gunn won. So yeah. Another bad match. It was only 5 minutes. I give that 1 star. Then Road Dogg versus X-Pac in the other semifinal match. Once again, another bad tournament match right here. Yeah, just 3 minutes long. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about here, yeah. Just all you need to know is X-Pac won this match. Yeah, it really was not a good match. Yeah, 3 minutes long again, I mean. Gosh. I give that like a 1.5 stars. Then we had the WWF Championship match. Undertaker defending against The Rock. Finally we get a good match on this show. Yeah, this was a pretty good match right here, yeah. Referee got like knocked out like right when the match started right here, yeah. Rock hit a rock bottom onto the Undertaker. Yeah, then another referee ran out, was trying to make the count, but then Paul Bearer pulled that referee out of the ring. And knocked him out, yeah. And then Undertaker hit a tombstone on The Rock. Or was it a choke slam? Yeah, it was one of those two. Yeah, I think it was a choke slam. Might have been tombstone. It was one or the other. Forgot exactly which one. Yeah, and The Rock survived it. And there was a lot of brawling on the outside of the ring. And yeah, they were fighting in the aisleway and in the entranceway. Yeah, Undertaker like threw The Rock into one of the steel guardrails. Well, yeah. And at one point, Rock countered the old school, and Undertaker just fell right onto the top rope. Oh, yeah. And then The Rock got a bottle of water and then spit it right in Undertaker's face. Yeah. And then they were starting to brawl into the crowd. And yeah. The Rock just grabbed some guy's drink and threw that in Undertaker's face. Yeah. And yeah, they just continued to like brawl throughout the crowd, and yeah. And at one point, Rock was gonna hit Undertaker with a steel chair, but Undertaker grabbed the ring bell, and yeah, he like blocked the Rock's shot with the chair, and yeah, it just like came back and hit Rock right in the face. Yeah. And yeah, it was a good back and forth match between the two. Yeah. Yeah, I will say, despite how short the Rock Undertaker feuds really were, I mean, yeah, whenever like Rock and Undertaker feuds never really lasted long, but they were still like pretty good. Yeah. And yeah, this is a good match right here, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, at one point, Rock, like, he, like, or Undertaker, rather, countered a spinebuster attempt by The Rock into, like, a DDT. Yeah. Yeah, and then at one point, I think, like, Rock countered one of Undertaker's moves into a DDT. Yeah. And then, yeah, referee was knocked out again after Undertaker threw The Rock into the referee. Yeah. And then, yeah, Rock hit a people's elbow on Undertaker. And yeah, the referee was still out. And then Paul Bearer and The Undertaker tried to chloroform The Rock, but The Rock was able to fight off the chloroform attempt. And then The Rock tried chloroforming The Undertaker. And then Triple H came out and hit a pedigree on The Rock. And then Undertaker recovered, and Rock survived it, but then Undertaker gave a tombstone to The Rock, and Undertaker won the match and retained the title. So yeah, it was a good match. I give it 3.5 stars. Then we had the King of the Ring final, Billy Gunn versus X-Pac. Oh man, this was just kind of there. I mean, this one really wasn't like terrible or anything, but it still really was not very good. Yeah, once again, another really short match, only like 5 minutes long. Yeah, yeah. Billy Gunn was like targeting X-Pac's neck in this match. He was just doing a bunch of cheap shots to his neck. And yeah, X-Pac at one point had a Bronco Buster on Billy Gunn. And yeah, it really was not a very interesting match, but yeah, it was a pretty nice ending where Billy Gunn, like, he did like a diving famouser where he dove from the turnbuckle and hit a famouser on X-Pac, so yeah. And then Billy Gunn got the win. And Billy Gunn became 1999 King of the Ring. And then, yeah, this was just like Ken Shamrock. After Billy Gunn won this King of the Ring, yeah, basically nothing happened with him at all. He basically just stayed right where he was. Yeah, Billy Gunn was just like, he was a mid-carder when he won King of the Ring, and he stayed in the mid-carder after he won King of the Ring. Yeah, nothing happened with him, just like what happened with Ken Shamrock the previous year. So yeah, Billy Gunn and Ken Shamrock are probably the two most forgettable King of the Rings in the history of the King of the Ring. Yeah. So yeah, I give the match like 2 stars. And then we got the main event, and which was a handicap ladder match for control of the WWF. Yeah, it was originally set as Vince and Shane versus Stone Cold. Well, but yeah, and yeah, Ken Shamrock had that match earlier on with X-Pac, and yeah, Shane like got hurt in that match, and yeah, they were saying like Shane wasn't going to be able to compete, and yeah, throughout the night Vince was looking for other possible opponents, like he first he went to Triple H, and that's why Triple H got involved in the match with Undertaker and Rock. But then yeah, after that Shawn Michaels just ejected Triple H from the arena. Yeah. And then yeah, during the entrances of the match, Vince then picked Steve Blackman as his new partner, but then it showed like security footage of Shane in his locker room, and he was just fine. And then yeah, Shawn Michaels forced Shane to compete in the match. Yeah. And yeah, this was good right here. Yeah, basically what you'd expect really between Stone Cold and the McMahons. Yeah, Stone Cold was basically beating the McMahons down for a majority of this match. Yeah, yeah, a lot of brawling on the outside of the ring and in the entranceway. Yeah, Stone Cold was just beating them down. Yeah, Shane was trying to climb some of the ladders that were set up in the entranceway to try to get away from Stone Cold, but Stone Cold followed Shane up there and eventually knocked him down. And yeah, Stone Cold was throwing Vince and Shane into some more of those ladders, and then he eventually, like, just not caused them all to fall onto Vince and Shane. Yeah. Yeah. And then at one point, like, in the ringside area, well, with the, like, actual ladder, yeah, not Vince, Shane and Stone Cold were, well, no, Stone Cold dove from the ladder and dove onto Shane right through the Spanish announce table. And then as Stone Cold was climbing the ladder again, Vince knocked it over and threw Stone Cold onto the JR and King's announce table, but it didn't break. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. And yeah, Stone Cold then, like, as it went back into the ring and Vince tried to reach for the briefcase, Stone Cold knocked Vince off the ladder and beat him down. Yeah, he gave both Vince and Shane the stunner. Yeah. And then, yeah, Stone Cold actually had the match won. He climbed the ladder to retrieve the briefcase, but then the briefcase was being raised up. Somebody was doing it. Yeah, we didn't actually find out who it was. Yeah, and Stone Cold was, like, accusing the people in the Timekeepers area of being responsible for it, but yeah, they weren't doing it, yeah. Yeah, and then, yeah, and then at one point, Stone Cold was trying to prevent Vince from grabbing the briefcase, and they were going at, yeah, and then eventually Shane knocked over the ladder, and then, yeah, Shane was able to climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase. And, yeah, Vince and Shane won, and yeah, they regained full control of the company. So, yeah, it was a good match. I give it a 3.5 stars. Overall, the show, I give it a 4 out of 10. And I may even be generous with that, yeah. like a really disappointing King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, just some of the most disappointing matches you'll ever see. Yeah, this was a very bad pay-per-view, but it did have good matches like Rocket Undertaker and Stone Cold versus Vince and Shane. Yeah, yeah, it's thanks to those two matches probably that I rated the show as high as I did with a 4 out of 10. Otherwise, I probably would have given it much lower, and this probably would have been on the level with the 1985 King of the Ring. Yeah, this was such a horrible show. Yeah, alright, so that does it for my review of King of the Ring 1999. Hope you guys enjoyed. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.